All right, scale of the day. Feeling green. I've got my green shirt on. Looks like a checkered tablecloth. I got my green guitar. I'm going to talk about this one just for a second, just for fun, because we got some beginners that might be looking for a decent guitar that doesn't break the bank. This is an Epiphone worn SG in green. It's got a worn satin finish, so it's not glossy. It's kind of dull. The tuners on it were not terrible, but just basic tuners. I did upgrade those to something called Clusen Revolution locking tuners that are a drop-in replacement on these vintage style tuners, which kind of refers to the shape of the back of these and how the screws mount. But those are really good, pretty good tuners. They feel real secure and stable, especially you want to tighten the screws on these buttons from the end to adjust the tension. I like mine pretty stiff where when you turn them they stay put. You can actually adjust that on your tuners. A lot of people don't know that you can tighten or loosen these screws a little bit that go into the end of the buttons on your tuners and adjust the tension on your tuner. So that's something to know. That's true on Grovers. It's true on these Clusens. It's probably true on the Shallers that you find on Fenders. I have to check that. It's been a while since I've been playing my Fenders much. Okay, anyway, let's get right down to the scale of the day. So we've been talking about the C major scale and the A minor scale. And we're going to do some quick review here before we jump into the next one. Okay, every day we're going to build a little bit. So we did an open C major and A minor scale, and that was down here. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Okay, you remember that one? You got it down? Can you play it pretty good? Pretty well? Let's try it at 72 once together. Ready? Go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Now if we wanted to do the A minor scale, that's the relative minor scale, we'd start on A, on the open A. Okay? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. You got that okay? We covered single string scales. On the 6th string there's a root at the 8th fret. See if you can play along on these. 1, 2, ready, go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, where's the root on the 5th string? Remember? Well, we just used it on the open scale. It's at the 3rd fret. So let's do the C scale on that string. 1, 2, ready, go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, that's a little of the fretwork that I need to do. You can hear that buzz a little. Now on our D string, where do we find a C root? We find it at the 10th fret, right? There isn't one down here because we're starting at D, and the C is before that. So first one's up here. 1, 2, ready, go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay. Then on our G string, where do we find a D? Do you know? It's at the 5th fret. Right? If you're not sure, you can count up G, A, B, C. But you should be starting to find these from the root patterns we looked at. Okay? Should be starting to come into focus a little bit for you. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Where do we find a C on the B string? Well, right after the B, at C, at 1. Okay? 1, 2, you know what to do. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. I'm singing these. I'm doing it out loud. I'm not only doing it for your benefit, I'm doing it as part of my daily practice and maintenance, okay? You want to do that. You want to verbalize it and even sing the note. It's good for your ear training, and it helps you identify and remember where those notes are. Okay? Where's our C on the E string? On the high E string. It's at 8. Just like it is at 8 on the low E string, because those strings are both E's. They're an octave apart, okay? Let's play that real quick. 1, 2, ready, go. E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? So that's just a little quick review of scales that we did. Now we looked at some root patterns, right? We said there was one down here. We called that the C pattern for the roots because it lined up with a C major chord, right? We said there was one here. We called that an A pattern because it lined up with a C chord in the A bar form. Okay. Then there's one here. 3 roots. We called that a C chord in the G form. And if we did it as a bar chord, you see the G, open G form here with the bar here. Still a C chord, but it's in the G form. And the roots. Okay, then we have an then we have an E form bar chord. So that takes the E shape on these 3 fingers and bars here at the eighth to give you a C chord in the E form. And those roots then are on the 1st, 6th, and 4th string, 2 frets apart. Remember how we talked about vocalizing that way? The last one is the D form of C. With roots there, okay? So we just reviewed our C major roots all over the neck. Now those repeat. Just like that in that pattern up the neck. Okay, now let's get down to today's scale of the day. That was a review session right there. Now, we're going to do the C major scale in the E form. That's pattern 1. Why am I starting on pattern 1 but in the E form up here? It's at the 8th fret with roots. Right? 8th fret E string, 10th fret of your D string or 4th string, 8th fret of your high E string. Those are the roots of your E form of the C major scales, right? If it was a different key, that same pattern would slide to a different position. That would be G. This would be A. This would be B. This would be B or C here. Okay, C major scale, E form, that's the root pattern. So now there's the bar chord that goes with that looks like an E, but it's a C chord, right? All right, now, so what's the pattern? So we start on the 8th fret root. Now there is a note below it, the 7th scale degree is a B, right? But we're going to start the scale on the C, so we go C, whole step to D, E, half step to F, G, A, whole step to B, half step to C. That's one of the roots, C. Keep going, C, D, whole step to E, F is a half step. Now this next one is on your middle finger, okay? That's your G, A, B, half step to C. And then there is a note in that pattern that goes up to D. Okay, I want you to just stop and visualize this pattern now for a minute, and I want you to notice the symmetry of this pattern, which is one of the reasons this is, okay, this pattern, everything fits within 4 frets. You're going to finger with the finger that lines up with that fret. There's no shifting one way or the other. There's no stretching or reaching extensions with your pinky or your index. It's just 4 frets wide. Okay, that's always nice. Makes for a nice, easy pattern to play. And then on the bottom 2 strings, they're both the same. They start on the 8th and go half step, whole step. And then the next one goes on the 8th, half step, whole step. Okay. Now the next 2 strings are different. The 4th and 3rd strings are different than the 6th and 5th, but they are symmetrical with each other. Okay, so those go at the 8th fret, then a whole step, half step, and then the next one is a 8th fret and a whole step and a half step. So that's pretty easy. That's pretty easy to get down. The only thing in this pattern that's weird is the next string, the B string, only has 2 notes. But it's otherwise the same as what you saw on the first 2 strings, right? It just doesn't have that first note. So you go right to your middle finger and do the whole step portion of that. And then the top string is starting on 8 and it's a half step and a whole step. Okay? So 4 of these strings are using the whole step, and 3 of them have the half step, and then the 2 in the middle are. So I just want you to look at and absorb the symmetries in that pattern and think about it for a minute, and that'll help you kind of remember it. These movements are extremely common in playing real songs. This half step, or this whole step to half step. Those are movements you'll make a lot. Okay? Alright, so that's the visual of the dots, and the roots, of course, again, are in that shape. Okay? I want you to remember that there's a root here, and it's played with your middle finger. Now, once you know that, you can slide anywhere on your neck to play a major scale in that key. So if I wanted to play that same scale in the key of G, I'd slide down here to a G root on my 6th string with my middle finger and go. If I wanted to play in the key of A, I'd slide to A. And that's the value of these movable patterns, right? Once you know the forms well and you know where the roots are, you can move them around your neck to play in different keys. Here's a B. Okay, same pattern. All right, so now going back to C major, because we're focused on the C major scale for a reason. We're going to learn scales in C all in a bunch of different ways. This is going to help us know where these notes are on our fretboard too. Okay, so now let's look at this scale form again, but this time with the note names in place. And we're going to sing and say these notes while we play the scale. All right, so we're going to start right there on the C. Now, when we play these scales, the way we're usually going to practice them is we're going to start there. We're going to go down and come back up to the root. Then we're going to repeat the root and go up from the root to the next root. And then to emphasize that that's a root, we're going to repeat that root and go up to the next root. Okay, and then to emphasize that root, we're going to repeat that root and go up and come back down to the root. Okay, same thing when you're going down. You're always going to start on the root, and then you're going to go up and back to the root. Then repeat the root and go down. and then repeat the root. Okay, you get the idea. You're kind of starting on the roots, but you're reaching down and getting the extension down to the extra note, so you see it in the pattern. And same thing on the top. Okay, now so let's look at these with the note names on there. We're going to sing them and play them. So we're going to start on C and go C, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, D, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, C, B, C. I probably did that faster than you might be able to if it's the first time you're looking at it, right? But I want to kind of show you the method of practicing first, and then we're going to do some practicing. We also want to say these by the scale degrees. And this starts to become more important later when you try to play other kinds of scales and you're building them off of the major scale, to know what these scale degrees are. So this is the first note. C is the first note in the C major scale, right? The second note is here, the third note is here, fourth note, fifth note, sixth note, seventh note, first note, second note, third note, fourth note, fifth note, sixth note, seventh note. 1, 2, 1. 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7, 1. Okay, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 1. Okay, that's the pattern, and we've looked at it as roots, as a E chord. We've looked at just the dots and where the roots are. We noticed the symmetry on the 5th and 6th string, and then the symmetry on the 4th and 3rd string. Then we noticed how the B string is kind of an exception, but it has the same symmetry as the high E string, low E string, and the A string. It just doesn't have that first index finger note. So it's, and then the last one is the same as the first. I mean, the first string is the same as the 6th. As far as the symmetry, right? We looked at the note names: B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, right? And once again, I want to remind you, when you're talking about the natural notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that they're all a full step or 2 frets apart, like C to D. All of them are, except B to C and E to F. That's true everywhere you find the B to C and the E to F. Okay? That they're a half step. Okay, and then we looked at the scale degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. Okay? Alright, now let's... Oh, by the way, does this appear somewhere else on the neck, or is this the only place? Well, we're talking about roots on the 8th and 10th fret. Our guitar usually has 21, 22, or 24 frets. This one has 22, I think. 12, 15, 17, 19, 21, 22. Yeah, this has 22 frets. So, can I get this pattern up here again? I can. It appears with these roots, 8 and 10. If you add 12 to those numbers, 8 plus 12 is 20, and 10 plus 12 is 22. So we're actually going to go right up to the last fret. Alright, so we're at the 20th fret. Most guitars have dot markers. If you're looking down, you know, you can see the dot markers on here. The double dots at the 12th fret marks the octave point. And everything from here to here repeats again from here to here. Except that it doesn't go for 12 frets. It only goes for 10. because there's 22, not 24 frets on this guitar. Okay, so this pattern does repeat up here. Now, when you're playing up that close and they're that close together, you may have to go to playing with 2 fingers or 3 fingers to get that in, because it's pretty tough to do it with the... If you try to play it with all 4 fingers, I can do it, but it's awkward. It's actually easier to just... play it with 3 fingers. But okay, so that pattern exists up here again, so it's on the neck twice. Okay, so you know, and again, we could look at that and think about the dots, or we could look at that up here and we could count the string scale degrees. The scale degrees is what those are called when you count them that way, not to be confused with intervals, which we'll talk about at a later point. They are scale degrees, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Later, when you get into other scales, other key signatures, you'll have things like a flat third or a flat seventh. Okay, so the fact that these are just numbers right now will change when you go to other keys. All right, let's do some actual scale practice. So I'm gonna give you a whole routine of some scale practice here. So we're going to start at, let's do 66 for a tempo. And we're going to do the pattern. We're just going to practice this at the 8th fret because it's a nice, comfortable place to play it right now. You know, you're probably not going to play this scale all the way up here. But you could. You never know. You do want to get in the habit of playing up here in these higher registers. A lot of beginning guitar players are kind of afraid to go up there, and it seems mysterious and they can't figure out where they're at on the neck. So avoid that pitfall and play up there. That's why you have all that neck. But we want to make this easy today. So we're going to do this at 66 beats per minute a few times. Maybe 4. I'm going to set a timer over here for a minute. Okay? We're going to practice this just like this. 1, 2, and we're going to play quarter notes. 1, 2, ready, go. C, B, C, wait. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, D, C, C, B. Whoops, I didn't quite do that right. Give yourself a beat of rest when you go to hold this at the root, okay? So do it as you're coming up, you're going G, A, B, C, C, D, C, C, B, A, G, E, F, E, D, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, C, B, C. Okay, like that. Let's do that again. Ready? Go. C, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, D, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, C, B, C. Okay. Now let's do that with just the scale degrees. Okay, so it's 1, 7, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so let me just pause that metronome for a second. Okay, so we did that at 66. You might, if you're first learning this, you might just sit there at that tempo now and just put the dot diagram up. Let's just do that for a minute now. Okay, I'm going to get this going again. Still 66 beats per minute. We're still going to play nice and slow quarter notes. This time we're not going to verbalize anything. We're just going to look at the pattern. Okay, put up the dot pattern and play this scale for, let's say, about a minute or so. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, how'd you do? That was about a minute and a half. We played through it nice and slow. You may want to sit and do that and play that pattern for 15 minutes, okay, when you're first learning it, and without vocalizing it before you start saying the names, just until you get it under your fingers and really know where the notes are. Once you know it, though, like I said, it's really powerful to be able to move that around the neck, right? Okay, now we're going to do something different here, which we've done before, but we're going to do it on this. So let's keep this at this tempo, and we're going to subdivide the beats. Okay, this is an important concept to get. So we're going to start with a whole note too. Well, not for the whole scale, just for a second, just to demonstrate. So a whole note would be what? It'd be 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. A half note is 2 beats. That would be 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2. That's a half note. So a quarter note is 1 beat per click. 1. So if we're going to play this in quarter notes, it's just like we were just playing. So we're going to go 1, 2, and play the whole scale. Go. C, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, D, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, C, B, C. Okay, that was quarter notes. Now eighth notes, 2 beats per click, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, getting the tempo here. Ready? Go. C, D, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Okay, I broke my rules for starting and stopping on the roots there. I just played through the pattern. But let's do it and start and stop on the roots. So this is eighth notes at 66 beats. 1 and 2 and ready, go, and little on the end. Okay, that's eighth notes. Could we do 16th notes? Well, that'd be pretty fast, won't it, for if you're a beginner. So that's 4 beats per click, okay? So it's 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a da 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 da, that kind of tempo. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, I didn't quite do the starting and stopping right on that. Ready? Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. Whoops. I stopped too long. I didn't really follow the rules there. It's okay though, you're just trying to get this pattern under your fingertips and hear the subdivided beats. Let's go back to eighth notes for a second. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Okay, can you do triplets? Now it's 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, dot 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 dot. 1 triplet. 1 triplet, 2. I want to, on the triplets, I don't want to stop at the root in the middle. In fact, as we're doing the triplets, let's do this. Let's just start at the bottom of the pattern and play it all even though. Let's do that first so you hear that C as the tonal center. Something like that. Okay, so we've subdivided the beats. Great. Let's move this up a little to 80 beats per minute, and we're going to do eighth notes. Ready, go. Wait a minute. How are we doing the pattern? Let's try to stick to our starting on the root and going down and back up. So it's 1 and 2 and ready, go, and... How'd you do on that? Let's try that one more time. Can you do 100? 1, 2, ready, go. Let's do it right this time. Pretty good. Let's go up. Let's go up to 120. Now these are eighth notes, so it's not flying, but we're starting to move our fingers a little bit. And I'll try to get the root stops and starts right here too, okay? 1, 1 and 2 and ready, go, and okay? Now, what you'd really want to do if you want to build your speed, let me show you one more technique. So suppose that you're kind of slow and you're just trying to get this. Well, we're going to start at 66 again. And here's how we're going to do this. We're going to go, we'll do eighth notes. 1 and 2 and ready, go, and if I played that perfectly, I'm going to go up a notch, or even 2 notches, let's say. So I'm going from 68 to 72 on my metronome. Two notches. I'm using a rotary style metronome where you turn this dial. These are really the best kind to have for speed training practice, where you're constantly changing it like this. Okay, 1, 2, ready, go. Play it perfect. If you played it perfect, go up 2 more clicks. Now we're at 80. Play it perfect. If you played it perfect, be honest with yourself. If you played it perfect, move it up 2 clicks. Okay. Now, I played it perfect, did you? You go up. But let's say I didn't. Let's say I made a mistake and I botched it. Okay, what you want to do is you want to back off like 4 clicks. Or even 6 clicks and start over. We'll go back off 4. 1 and 2 and ready, go, and okay, go back up 2. 1 and 2 and ready, go, and let's go up 2. Now we're at 88. 1 and 2 and ready, go, and now let's go up to 96. 1 and 2 and ready, go, and I play it perfectly? I did not. I made a little mistake in there. I'm going to back off the speed and go down a little bit. Back to 88. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, let's go up to 96. 1, 2, ready, go. Let's go up to 104. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, let's go up to 112. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, very good. Let's go up to 120. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, let's go up to 132. We're flying now. 1, 2, ready, go. Wow, we're flying, right? Let's go up to 144. I made a little mistake there, didn't I? I could back it down. Because we're doing a video, I'm just gonna repeat this one at this speed. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now, let's say we were at 120. Let me back to 120 again. I just wanted to illustrate something. Say you get up to 120, okay? 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now if I wanted to go up from there, but I was getting annoyed with these rapid clicks as we get up in speed, like if I get up to 192, it's like that, and you're trying to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, it's a lot, right? So let's say you want to keep going up in speed, but you want to reduce the number of clicks. Well, you can go from 8th notes to 16th notes, which is twice as many notes per click, and cut this in half. So you go from the 120 back down to 60. You roll this back down to 60. Now you're going to do 4 notes per beat. So instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, you're going to go 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, okay? 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2, ready, go. Whoops. It's the same as it was when I was at 120 in terms of what I'm playing. It's just going against a slower beat. Whoops. Okay, so like that. So we really covered more than just the major scale while we're working on this scale, right? We covered where the roots are. We covered what the notes are. We covered what the scale degrees are. We covered practicing the pattern. We covered at different tempos. And then we did that also with subdividing the beat from quarter notes to eighth notes to 16th notes, and then also back to eighth note triplets. Okay, so we did a bunch of stuff here in a practice session on this scale. We're trying to learn the scale form, but we're also trying to develop other musical skills while we practice the scale. Okay, that's how you practice scales. There's other techniques as well that you start to do with scales, but these are some of the basic ones to focus on as you're working on these scales. Okay, so this again is the C major scale in the E form with roots and a scale that goes. And that's the scale of the day.